Yes, everyone. Back in the game. Back on the live stream game. Merry Monday evening. Feels good to be back. Though, not watching the Arsenal game to do this, guys. So this is serious love for the stream. But fingers crossed I'm just going to come back and Arsenal are going to be winning 5-1 at the end of the stream. Let's see. But yeah, how's everyone else doing? Who we got in the chat room tonight? Yes, Matt. Nice one, dude. Turns out our internet booster, because we've got the routers in the other room. It had been having some problems, but I think it's all good now. As you saw in the video, connection is sweet. So check that's all still cruising nice and strong. Yes, excellent connection. That's what you want to see. Wicked. So yeah, it's been a few weeks. Lots has been happening over here. Got a sub pack. You can see there. It's now fucking sub game is next level. Man, if you guys haven't got a sub pack, you're not living the sub game unless you've got an actual sub. But I know not many people do. Yeah, unreal vibes with this thing. It is like being next to a humongous sub in the club, just smashing up your back. So good. In fact, yeah. So I've just been listening to music non-stop and hearing it, feeling it in new ways. Just so good for the mix down and just for the enjoyment of the listening. Actually, yeah. If you guys don't know about Subpack, go and check them out. It's you put it on the back of your chair, or you can get ones that you can wear as well. They're battery powered, so you can take it out and about with you. So got that, and then also got new headphones because I've basically just been writing everything, and basically everything I've been doing has been on the headphones since I had Margot. Monitors have not been getting a lot of use, so I thought it's time to upgrade the headphone game. So traded out the old pair of Beyerdynamic DT880s for the DT1770 Pros. Man, these things are a work of art. Yeah, it's actually, I got really used to writing with headphones, and now I actually feel like I almost prefer it. These sound so good, and combined with the sub pack, it is you are properly there, just in the fucking zone. Because I don't have a soundproof studio or anything, the monitors are great, but they're only kind of as good as the room that you're in, and the room here is not ideal. So headphones are winning, and yeah, I would massively recommend these headphones if you're looking to upgrade your headphone game. I mean, it's the amount of money that you need to spend on monitors to get good ones is, you've got to spend kind of 4 times as much as these basically top of the range headphones cost. So yeah, really well worth the money. Super comfy all the way around the ears, and sounds sick. So let's finally get into this track, shall we? The old who are you, where are you, where you been, who's your mother, whatever it's called. This old guy.
I don't understand. Why? I don't understand. Why?
that's basically the track. It's pretty simple, kind of repetitive groove, but yeah, we got the kicks. So yeah, that's just a pretty simple rhythm. It's the kick sample is from a techno track that I just sampled the kick from the intro. I think the track was called Eternia. Yeah. So super simple kick pattern, hi-hats. Nothing too crazy going on there. Then we got some little off hats. Yeah, they've just got a bit of the redux on them and some phase. Yeah, let's get a little loop going, shall we? So yeah, obviously I'm a big fan of the redux. That's what they sounded like without. Then redux, just dirtied up, and then a bit of phase. Yeah, it's kind of making them a bit more phasey, and they kind of get a bit of a different sound flowing throughout them. Then we got snare. Simple. It's got the redux on it as well. Clap. Just doubling up. Just thickens it up a little bit, and then we got this extra snare here as well. That's just doubling up on those off hi-hats there. Then we got this little dinky break. So those are obviously some little snares and hats that I've cut out of a break and just taken a few little bits and pieces to kind of go in the in-between sections, in between all the other things that we've got. Turn that up so you can hear it. Obviously there's the noise layer that I've always got in there. Very quiet bit of noise there. Shh. Always nice to get in there just to thicken up a little bit. Then we've got some little claves in here as well. And the bottom. Together. So that's, yeah, they're just playing the same thing, but the two different, one high, one low. That's if I pitched it somewhere, don't know why one is high and one is low, but yeah, one is high and one is low somehow. However I've done that. That's just kind of giving it a bit of thickness. And these then we've got these toms here as well, so this is kind of a little fill. Let's just solo these here down to the toms. And nice fill here as well. Some hits. So these are just some different samples that I've stuck together and then I've freezed, bounced them down. But they're used kind of intermittently. Got a big spin back. And every so often got some bass, got some delay just on some of those as well, and some Valhalla big reverb as well, so delays and reverbs every so often on some of those hits. But let's go back to this together. So this track's really kind of like, what makes it pop is the fact there's lots of little bits and pieces all kind of bouncing off each other. It's a very steady rhythm underneath, but then on top we've got all these little popping random samples. So when you listen to all of these together, you hear what's going on. So that's what's making that fill pop out. That's kind of then utilised throughout the track. Then we got this little kind of drooped kick, but up high, with some delay on it. It's from Ascend. So normally that would be something like that, but taking it up high, so it's just a, what is it? Some sort of bunch of different waves, bunch of different sine wave 3 and 4, so kind of, yeah, some slightly messed up sine waves on there, but yeah, usually it's meant to be like a kick that swoops down, but I've just pitched it up. So then we got, as we move on, got this little shout here. Whoopsie. And that's again just got the big delay send on it. And then yeah, we're in with the bass. So bass is all it's all, or a lot of audio, so it's not going to be too much to see MIDI wise. But bass, it's made up of a few different bass parts, and they all kind of just play at different times. So let's zoom in on these a little bit, and then the sub comes in, and these 808s a bit later. So this first bit of the sub is kind of this, just some reversing sounds that I've pitched down, and then it's been resampled, been like frozen, sorry. And then we got this one comes in. Oh yeah, there's another one here as well. Oh yeah, so that's just a cut up bit. So kind of weird vocal hits, some strings, and together with all the drums, let's just take down the noise so we can see what's going on here. Okay. Still kind of in the intro here, so there's a bit of bass. And then old friend Usher.
Why?
Doing a bit of my classic, I do like to bring things in just before they actually start the bar. So we've got some 808 kicks. And just a sub. So adding into the, got the Usher, and then we've got this little fill, and then we are in.
Why?
So that's the main groove right here that we're looking at. So if we look at all the different bass parts here, we've got this reversey thing, then we've got some 808 kicks, then we got that bow sound, then some subs, and basically none of them play at the same time. So there's kind of like notes all the time, but you'll see if you like look closely, everything is just doink, doink, boom, 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 dum, dum, bum, bum, bow, wow, wow. So there's almost no clashing at all. And that's kind of what's satisfying about it, is it's 4 or actually kind of 5 different sounds all playing the bass, and they're all playing off each other. And so yeah, I think it's quite a fun technique to just get quite a few different bass sounds and then just only use each one for little bits of the bass line. And yeah, that kind of keeps things interesting. We've got some long ones, we've got some kind of middle length ones, and then we got some little boom, boom, boom 808s as well, and then the hits. So that kind of like just cruises along a little bit like that, really. Got the old dubs, my favourite. You know me and these guys. I love them. Big spin back sample, and then Usher.
I don't understand. Why?
Usher, Burn a cappella with a bit of the Echo Boy on it.
I don't understand. Why?
And that's
I don't understand.
it, really.
Why? I don't understand. Why?
Yeah, there was this whole sample here. It's got the big delay on it.
I don't understand. Why?
Another one.
I don't understand. Why? I don't understand. Why? Why?
Slightly shortened one there. Extra little dinkle there. And then just in with the tambourine. Pull out the Usher, in goes the tambourine. Simple as that. Oh, then we got the claves. Again, they're kind of always just playing together. They're effectively one instrument. These little guys here. So everything's, yeah, just few little bits and pieces. You know, if we solo these drums again. Thanks very much, Sunlit and Paddy. Yeah, glad you're into them. Yeah, it was one of those ones where it's like really not too much thinking. It's quite slapdash. Sometimes, you know, you just feeling it. You just stick a big delay and a big reverb on some shit, and boom, get some impact. Yeah, it's like a super simple beat, and really what makes the track interesting and like enjoyable to listen to is all these different little samples kind of bouncing off each other, maybe things that you wouldn't necessarily expect to hear all in a dance track, like those kind of orchestra hits and the boom sound, and yeah, it's kind of quite a fun one. Got some other shit going on here. Snare 3, what's he got to say for himself? Ooh, kind of almost like some claps. Oh yeah, this is kind of a little breaky bit. So yeah, just a little fill there. Little pull out. Breakdown, we've got the bass going, but no kicks.
I don't understand. Why?
And then it's just letting Usher go to town.
I don't understand. Why? I don't understand.
Keeping most of the groove going, but just breaking out this tambourine.
I don't understand. Why?
Let's do it again.
Why?
The old classic, don't bring the kick in right away. 1 second, I'm just going to go make sure that Margot's being looked after. Okay, yeah, Sally is with her. Sorry about that crying in the background. It's unfortunately a little bit par for the course with little grubs. So yes, got a little, when it comes back in, kind of delayed kick comes in just before the second bar, and got this little spin back as part of these samples here. And yeah, that's kind of really effective, is get these double kick back in and then these subs, boom, boom. Yeah, it's really a case of just like all the little pieces just flowing into each other. Like that. And that is basically the track, to be honest. It just kind of grooves on. A few extra little fills, another spin back, some dubs. there it is. Real, yeah, just club tune, really. One for mixing with as well. And that's it, yeah. Not too much more to say on it, really. But Paddy, do I have a go-to for finding samples like those? Not really, to be honest. It's just kind of, 13 years of just picking up packs and USB grabs from people, other producers over the years. So yeah, I definitely couldn't tell you exactly where those have come from. I've no idea. Random 1 to 4, it looks like. Random 141. God knows. Can I show and finder? That's just going to take me to the actual, just from the track. And then just consolidated. So unfortunately not too much use there. But yeah, that's the jam right there. Anybody got any questions? Fire them over. Are there any good tools for isolating a vocal from a track? Do you mean like creating an a cappella, like from a track, from just a normal song? Or do you mean like in a mix down, just trying to make these like this a cappella stand out? Yeah, let me know, Matt. In the meantime, Kerouac mic is the kick layered or just a single sampled kick? It's just a Oh, wait a second. You're totally right. It is actually not a single one. It is also dull soul vinyl. Let's take a look at what's going on here with the kick. So there's this one. This is the kick sampled from that techno track. And then there's also just this little tippy tappy one. So that's just giving it a little bit of tippy tappy on the top, and then it's just got some compression on it. That's it. Yeah, it was just I was listening to some techno track years ago, and I just remember that it just having an absolutely almighty kick, and there being a section probably in the intro or something which was just kick, and I just went yoinky doinky, and I've just been yoinky doinkying it into tracks ever since. Creating an a cappella from a busy track. I don't think there's really any way that you can do that, to be honest. Like, I've always heard about some sort of witchcraft about reversing phase and all this bullshit, but like, it never seems to work whenever I've seen anybody try and do it, without it sounding just like absolute turd. So I think no. You can't just like isolate a piece of audio from a bed of sound with a bunch of other instruments and stuff in it. Unfortunately, that is not possible without the original stems. So yeah, you just kind of got to find some packs with some a cappellas in somewhere. Yeah, they're floating around on the internet somewhere. Thanks, Usher, for this one. Anyone else got any sweet little questiones? Sunlit Artifact asking, what made me move towards soft synths and samples more so than hardware synths? Very simply, cost. Hardware synths are really expensive, and soft synth and samples originally for me were all free because I just used crack ones, and then since I've started buying them all over the last couple of years, they're still just, infinitely less money than buying hardware. I can't really hear the difference, to be honest, between a soft synth and a hardware synth. I think it's kind of just one of those things that people say to make themselves feel better about spending all the money on the hardware, but I just think after a good mix down, after some decent mastering, I really cannot tell the difference. So it just seems, also like space wise, like synths take up loads of space, and I was that is not the reason. It hasn't really been because of space, but I wouldn't have had anywhere to put them anyway. It's not like, kind of struggling artists tend to have loads of space to put loads of synths, and they're heavy. I don't know. I mean, I'm like, obviously people love using them, and that's great. I'm definitely wouldn't try and convince anyone to not do that, but they just have never really seemed appealing to me personally. And I'm just got Ableton Push and little MIDI keyboard, fucking good to go. And follow up, do I have any go-to software synths? 100%, especially at the moment. I mean, I think I spoke about them in the last video, but I've been very loving the Arturia Pigments and Buchla Easel 5. I mean, again, I'm not going to go into it because I went into it in the last video, but I think this is the best synth of all time. If you don't know about Buchla about Arturia Pigments, you need to go and check it out, because this is the tits McGee. And yes, Buchla Easel 5, this is really fun to fuck around with as well and get loads of crazy sounds out of. And then if I'm not using those two, then definitely next one would obviously be Diva. Diva's obviously an absolute monster as well, and I mean, you don't really need anything more than those probably to make all the sounds you could ever want. Lots of people talk about Serum, which I've never used, but I just find it hard to imagine that it could be better than Pigments at doing crazy modulations and just making whatever sound you wanted. Can't hear the difference at all between the hardware and the soft synths. No idea. Matt asking, when are we making the next banger? I mean, that's got to probably be coming up pretty next. Maybe next week. It's time to get back on writing a banger, and this time we'll definitely be using those synths, Pigments, and the Buchla for sure. I've just been making a new template using slightly kind of deeper sounding shit. I mean, not like deep, but kind of quite fancying making some still club music, definitely, but just maybe some deeper, groovier sort of vibes. I've been working on this Locust track just recently, which is this is using Pigments and the Buchla, so been quite enjoying this sort of thing. Let's just it does not want to load. Here we are. This sort of thing. pigments on this next granulator. And this guy. This is all just Buchla. Just one real long pass. Man, the Buchla. What trip indeed. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, Matt, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the granulator. Actually, that is the plan for next week for this guy. I think I'll be using this actual thing. Very good for those ghostly, trippy things. Sneak preview. All right, wicked. I think that's probably a good place to leave it for this week. I reckon next week we are probably going to get back to writing a new banger. Yeah, let's write a deep, groovy, subby, eyes down banger. Wicked. All right, well, great to be back. Glad the internet held up. Is it still saying? Yes, excellent connection. Looks like we're all good. We are all good. Hope you guys have a lovely week, and I'll catch you guys on the flippity flop. Laters on the Menjay.